Welcome back into Christ in Sport. Today we'll be talking with you about how to conduct, briefly about sports ministry. So the first thing when we talk about sports ministry is, now we really want to know is how can we emphasize a Christ-like sport within the church and not sports like Ahmed used to tell us, sports like in the world. So we'll give you examples today. So for example, Ahmed, how can you enforce a Christ behavior like sport within the ministry? How can we do this?
So there are many aspects to be able to achieve that, and it's I think it's a work in progress. I don't think I have all the answers to that, but I think God guides us to certain things that we can then we can put in place, certain rules or regulations or guidelines to help that. I think number one is working with the servants to make sure that they are fed, that they are spiritually fed, that their behavior is reflecting Christ. And if the servants do that, then the youth just copy it. They absorb it from them. They're role models. They have fun with them, and they like to be like them. So the first thing would be working on the servants, training the trainers, basically. The second thing would be a little bit more depending on the age. So if we're really dealing with the more like elementary, middle school youth, then you can have certain requirements to be able to join the sports camp or the ministry, like attending liturgy, behaving a certain way in the liturgy, regular confession, all the means of grace that we have in our church, and we can tailor it depending on the age and the requirements of the community and this age and the challenges that they face. If we go to an older age, then it's more of understanding why these things are important. And I think a lot of youth grasp this idea when they are playing sports, because in order to play sports, well, you need to be fit, you need to warm up, you need to do certain things, otherwise you get injured. You're preparing yourself for the sport, okay? And in the same way, in order to be able to behave in a Christ-like behavior, then you need to prepare yourself for that. So if I have Christ inside me, communion, this is the first thing. If I have Christ inside me, then I'm able to live a Christ-like life more, or it would be easier. I'll get more help. If I have regular confession and guidance from a father of confession, then I'm preparing myself that if I fall into something, if I have a problem, then I'm able to work through it and progress and improve, in that area. And I think if St. Paul compared spiritual life or spiritual struggle to being a soldier, then he also compared it to running a race.
It's 1 Corinthians 9, 24 to 27. And it basically actually talks about how that we're into this race, not to run it just to win the final prize, the gold medal, but this final prize is not gonna last forever. It's not an everlasting prize, but the heavenly and the eternal prize is what we should keep our eyes focused on, because this is the final prize. And this is actually a very, very nice point to always point to it, that what is our real aim? And through sport, we can always teach that. One of the very important things to do is not just conduct and enforce the rules that Ahmed said, but through the sport, you have to also get a chance to relate every biblical lesson and teaching that we can get, even through a very small thing. Like just I was saying right now, keeping our eyes on the real prize, which is not the gold medal, but the eternal life. So it's very, very small and brief, but it's something that I can incorporate in a very, very small, like champions race, for example, or an ultimate championship, or a final in a soccer league or something. It's a very, very small thing that I can incorporate into it. But you have to always make sure that every single event that you do in sports is not about, okay, let's gather around, we're gonna just pray, say Aben Alladhi, and then we're all gonna pray that sport, end the game, and then leave. But it's not, the sport doesn't end where the ref whistles, blows off the whistle, but it ends where we end the lesson. So if a day has happened in a sports ministry and every child has, or every youth or every person left home without a spiritual message, then we have failed to do what Christ in sport needs to do. But we have done what the sports world have done, and it's the same thing, except that we are just doing it in a church setting. So this is what we're gonna say for today, but we still have more to add in regards of that. So we're gonna see you in another Christ in Sport episode to tell you more about conducting sports days.